What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas and is looking forward to the new year. We're about a little under 2 months away from the Daytona 500, which I'm super excited for. I locked in my tickets earlier this week during the Christmas time. So excited to be back. This will be my second time going to the Daytona 500, second year in a row. So I am excited. And with that excitement that I locked in the tickets, all that good stuff, I decided to make another video. And today we're going to be looking at 3 bets for the Daytona 500 that you should lock in right now, because the value, I think, on these bets are only going to get better for the book, not for us. So let's go right into it with these 3 bets I am looking at to place right now. The first is a guy that actually doesn't have the best record on super speedways, but I do think the number you could get at this driver right now is pretty good. That's the driver, the number 54 Toyota Camry, and that is Ty Gibbs, 25-1 plus 2,500 right now. And let me tell you why I like this bet. I like this bet because I think Ty Gibbs is due or ready to take a huge step in this Cup Series. I think it's going to be a breakout sophomore season. I do not think Ty Gibbs is going to have what we would call a sophomore slump. I think he's going to win one, if not multiple races this season and lock himself into the playoffs and really show that he's going to be a force with Joe Gibbs for a long, long time. So with that, I think the odds are only going to continue to decrease week in and week out for a guy like Ty Gibbs. I expect most races he's going to be around 12 to 15 to 1 to win most of the mile and a halves, maybe even the short tracks. I think Toyota is going to, continue to be good next year. Obviously, Chevy and Toyota the last few years have kind of been the elites, but Ford had a good year as well last year on certain tracks, including super speedways. But anyway, Ty Gibbs, again, I said it before, the numbers for this driver, for Ty Gibbs on super speedways, wouldn't say that, hey, he's one of the best super speedway guys we have. But his average running position is pretty good. At super speedways, I think Joe Gibbs Racing will be fast at the Daytona 500. They're fast at just about every track, but I think they're going to be pretty good. And like I said, I think he's due for a breakout year, and I would not be surprised if he gets a win here. 2 of the last 3 years at the Daytona 500, we've had a first-time winner. And then you could go 3 of 3 last years, we've had a first-time winner with their current team. So although Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who won the Daytona 500 last year, had won races, that was his first career win with JTG Doherty Racing. He had won 2 previous with Roush Fenway, or Roush, I should say. So Ty Gibbs, I think, is a really good bet right now. 25-1, that's plus 2,500, a $100 bet would win you $2,500. So I like that. I think you should place that right now, maybe about a quarter unit. And these other 2 bets that we'll get into, a lot smaller the bets can be. So that was the first one. Number 2, we're going to go with a fan favorite, a guy that's led laps at Atlanta. He's led laps at Daytona. He's been an elite super speedway racer, doesn't have a win in NASCAR, but he continues to get good results at super speedways. That's Corey LaJoie at 65-1 plus 6,500. If you're a NASCAR fan watching this video, you know that Corey LaJoie is due for a win soon at a super speedway. A lot was said about Michael McDowell for many years. He was always good, solid, ran up front, had good, top 10, top 5 finishes at super speedways. And in 2021, he finally got his Daytona 500 win. I think Corey LaJoie, that time is coming. And I think just at plus 6,500, you have to take that bet. I would probably go maybe 0.1, 0.15 in the unit count. So that would mean if you're betting 100 or a 1 unit bet for you is $100. If you're going to go 0.1, that would be $10. 0.15, that would be $15 on Corey LaJoie at 65 to 1. By the numbers last year, 3 top 10s. Daytona, he finished 10th. Talladega, he finished 4th. Atlanta, he finished 4th. The year before in 2022, he finished 5th at Atlanta. He's got 2 career top 10s in the Daytona 500. Only finished in the last, his last 5 Daytona 500s. He hasn't finished outside the top 20. So he's clean as well when it comes to these super speedway races. But Spire and him, that team has gotten better each year. But they've always ran well at super speedways. They've just gotten better at short tracks and mile and a halves. I think Corey LaJoie can take a leap next year. And he's always a factor when it comes to super speedways. I think 65 to 1 is pretty criminal. Let me give you some names of guys that have better odds than him. Carson Hocevar at 55 to 1. Why? No idea. 50 to 1, Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson at 50 to 1. Oh my good, that's criminal. John Hunter Nemechek, 50 to 1. I don't agree with that. Daniel Suarez, 40 to 1, maybe. Josh Berry, 35 to 1. 35 to 1, Josh Berry over Corey LaJoie, who's proved he can finish top 5. That's crazy. So LaJoie, lock in that bet right now. Hey, if you even want to go big, you want to put like $100 on it, that's $6,500 or $6,500 you would win. So huge value on Corey LaJoie. And then, in my opinion, the biggest value bet you could possibly make right now is the veteran. How old is this driver? The 38. Wow, he's only 38. I thought he was a little older than that. But the 38-year-old David Reagan, who has 2 career super speedway wins in the Cup Series. You tag on another one in the Xfinity Series. He's won at Daytona before, although it wasn't the 500. It was the later race, the summer race. He still's won at Daytona. He's won at Talladega. In his last 3 Daytona 500s, he's got an 8th place. He's got a 4th place. In the summer Daytona race in 2022, he ran with Rick Ware Racing. He finished 9th. So this guy is just elite at super speedways. If you look through his motorsports stats, you'll just see orange, which is top 5, and gray, orange, which is top 10, and gray, which is top 5 on super speedways. Wherever you look, super speedway, oh, top 10, super speedway, oh, he won. It's just everywhere. And the most important part of this bet is that David Reagan is not going to be driving for Rick Ware Racing. He's not going to be driving for Front Row Motorsports. He's going to be driving for Roush Fenway Keselowski, Brad Keselowski's team, who dominated the super speedways last year. They were the best team on super speedways. The results spoke for themselves. Look at what Chris Buescher did. Look at how many times Brad Keselowski was right there for a win. He is an elite super speedway racer, David Reagan is. And to pair him up with Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher, who are also elite super speedway racers, that team of 3 is going to be deadly for Ford. Ford was the best manufacturer on super speedways last year. That's where they shine, with super speedways and short tracks. That was where Ford was good, and I expect Ford to bring it again. I think they're going to be fast once again. And 100 to 1 for David Reagan to win the Daytona 500 is a wild bet that you can make right now. Look, is it a lock? Absolutely not. But you always look for value, especially this early, about 2 months out. You look for value on the board. And these 3 bets, David Reagan, Corey LaJoie, and Ty Gibbs, I think are the best value we have on the board right now. So lock them in while you can. The lines and odds are only going to shift as we get closer to the duels, as we get closer to qualifying, maybe even after the Busch Clash, things change. So there's quite a bit that, is going to move these lines, but lock them in now while you can. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video. and subscribe if you're a first time watcher, listener, whatever, however you're consuming the content. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. And while you look at the board right now, the betting board, what do you guys think? What are the best value bets you could make right now? Put that in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon, and let's get ready for Daytona.